Hello, and welcome to another episode of Project Bidoof. Today we are going to make a Battle Ready Kingdra. My Kingdra has Surf, Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, and Flash Cannon. We are going for maximum special attack and speed EVs with the modest nature. Of course, as usual, you could pick the speed nature instead. In this case, it would be timid, but we're going to stick to modest. The reason for sticking with modest is because our ability is going to be Swift Swim. What Swift Swim does is it doubles your speed while it is raining, so we don't need the speed boost from the nature as much. Arguably, you could take it, but we just want to have as much power as possible, so we've gone with modest. There is a sniper ability Kingdra, which also uses a focus lens, and it uses focus energy as its setup move. This way you have a very high chance of critting. I think it's around 40 to 50% chance to crit, and then your crits are multiplied by 1.5. However, we've done a few rain Pokemon in this series, and I want to keep it sort of along the same track so that you have a few ideas for Pokemon to add to your rain teams. So we are going to pick Swift Swim. For your water type move, of course, you don't have to go Surf, but this is more of a double battles moveset. Instead, you could pick Hydro Pump for the raw power. It is 110 power, but it has 80% accuracy. It's going to miss at some point, and you're going to be a little bit sad. Of course, if you just want the best bang for buck, you could pick Scold. It's 80 power, 100% accuracy, and it even has a chance to burn. However, for the sake of this moveset, we are going to stick with Surf. For our items, I placed Choice Specs here. Don't really need to run Choice Specs. You could just run a Life Orb. If you don't want to take the self-damage, you could take Expert Belt, but you will feel the loss of damage, especially when you're not hitting for super effective damage. 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 8 times out of 10, I will run a Life Orb. For our fourth move, we don't have to go Flash Cannon, especially in doubles. You might just want to go Protect, or if you want to take advantage of how fast you are during the rain because of Swift Swim, I think Protect or Flash Cannon are both very good options. Build Pokemon for their purposes. You could have 3 or 4 different types of Seadra. You could have Sniper ability version, you could have a singles Choice Specs Kingdra, you could have a Swift Swim double battles Kingdra, and a Swift Swim single battles Kingdra. If you're going to be doing a lot of battling, I definitely recommend trying out different movesets and just breeding multiple copies of the same Pokemon, especially if you're going to be playing a lot, or if you're like me, you like to battle a lot and you like to try out a lot of different team ideas and play styles and formats. Just for the sake of this moveset, we are just going to go back to Flash Cannon. So for starters, we will need a Horsey. We can evolve our Horsey into a Seadra at level 32, and then you will need to trade your Seadra while it's holding a Dragon Scale, and then it will evolve into a Kingdra. Now, the best way to get a Dragon Scale in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is to go to the water biomes in the Grand Underground with an Absol that has this Super Luck ability. You want to find Horseys and Dratinis. They will have a 20% chance to have this item. For leveling up, we have our Hydro Pump at level 51. If you don't want to go Draco Meteor, you could take Dragon Pulse, which is learned at level 44, so you do have an extra option there. And for our BDSP technical machines, we have our Ice Beam, TM13, there it is. You should have the number memorized by now, we've gone over it so many times. We have Dragon Pulse by TM, but it's a little bit redundant, and we have our Flash Cannon and Surf by TM as well. We also have Substitute and Protect. It is here somewhere, TM17, there we go. So quite a few decent TMs, but really Kingdra doesn't have the greatest coverage choices, so we're a little bit strapped for choices here. For egg moves, the only two that really stand out to me personally are Clismog and Muddy Water. Muddy Water is basically a different version of Surf. It has a lower accuracy. It hits adjacent Pokemon on the field. However, it has a accuracy drop, but most of the time I will still pick Surf, as I just hate when moves miss. It's the worst feeling in the world. I will pretty much always go for Surf instead. For the breeding process, it's quite simple. We're not passing down any egg moves. I started off with a female Adamant Horsey, and then I used a modest Ditto with an Everstone to pass down and hatch eggs that are modest nature, like this Horsey. Of course, we used our 6 IV Bidoof, our Barbarrel in this case, and eventually through IV breeding we ended up with a 6 IV, although really you only need 5 IVs, you don't need the attacking stat. We have our Battle Ready Kingdra. It has a modest nature, it has Swift Swim, maximum special attack and speed EVs, it has Scold, which I taught by TM. I keep changing my mind in this series, but obviously you could also teach Surf via TM. Draco Meteor we will come back to in a second, but we also taught Ice Beam and Flash Cannon by TM. So let's get back to learning Draco Meteor. How do you do that? You can start off in either Solaceon Town or Celestic Town, and you need to go to this point here on the map. You see there's like a yellow house? Maybe if you zoom your eyes really hard. Above the cursor, there is a house. We're going to go there right now just to prove it. So let's get on the bike. You see, I already have my hidden moves Poketch app prepared because we need to use Defog. We also need to use Rock Climb, but, you know, that's not as important. You need to be able to see where you're going. Watch this. Am I going to get an encounter? I'm actually going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. Okay, no encounter. This is why they pay me the big bucks on YouTube, guys. We use Defog. Okay, Repel has been used. Now we just have to go over to this section where the rock climbing is. Mash A again. You have to fight this trainer. He has a really strong gibble, so everyone watch out for that. Bring your best team. And then you will come to Grandma Wilma's house. Let's go say hello. Maybe she'll put the kettle on, make us a nice cup of tea. We worked hard to get here, so it's the least she can do. She doesn't even have... This is the worst house I've ever seen. Where do you sleep, woman? Anyway, talk to Grandma Wilma. Would you like me to teach the best dragon type move I know to one of your Pokemon? And I want to teach it to Kingdra. It already knows Draco Meteor or Draco Meteor. So there you have it for the moveset. Pretty simple. We're basically teaching TMs, and then all you have to do is visit your grandma and she will teach you Draco Meteor. And that is going to be it for this video. You have a very strong and very fast Rain Sweeper. Kingdra is super strong, and I recommend that you try this out for yourselves. Remember to check out the other videos in this series. Join us on Discord, say hello. That's going to be it for this video. Leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help me out a ton. If you really like my content, consider subscribing via Patreon. That also helps me out a bunch. I'm giving away all of these Pokemon very soon on the 24th of July, so just go over to Twitter, make sure that you're following me, check out the pinned tweet, and you can retweet any of the Pokemon that you want to win. I will be doing a raffle on the 24th, and I will upload that just so everyone knows which Pokemon they've won as well. Stay tuned for even more Project Bidoof tomorrow at 6 PM BST.